Hey everyone, my name is Yukabeth, and this is God is Everything podcast. So, you guys, this week I'm doing 2 episodes just because I missed last week, and we gotta keep up. We gotta hold ourselves accountable. So today we're just gonna get into it. So this is from Psalms 34, verse 12 to 14, and the Bible says, "Whoever of you loves life and desires to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking lies. Turn from evil and do good. Seek peace and pursue it." And so this is one of those passages that I want to kind of break down because there's a lot to unpack. So the Bible basically says, if you love your life and you want to experience many good days, because we live in a world where a lot of bad things happen. Most of the times, you're going to have a bad day here and there. But if you want to experience a life of many good days in the short time that you have on this earth, first, the Bible says, keep your tongue from evil. Keep your tongue from evil. And this is one of those reminders that are easily overlooked, because a lot of times we don't even think that what you say or how you're saying things makes a big impact. But your mouth, your tongue, I'm telling you, like, a lot of our blessings are withheld because of our tongue. If you just actually were intentional with the things that you say and you spoke life, I'm telling you right now, your blessings will multiply tenfold. Like, we don't even realize the things that we say about others, the things we say about ourselves actually affect us. For example, me and my little sister, we went to the fair on a Wednesday because it's so much better. Anyways, to the Minnesota State Fair, and we drove there and we got on the bus, and the bus takes us to the fair. Simple, quick, whatever. So when we're coming back, the bus driver, he stopped. So we were thinking this is our spot, because the stops look so alike. So we get off, and then as soon as we get off, we see a group of people coming back into the bus, and we're walking, and then we both were like, oh, I bet they missed their spot. And we're like, oh yeah, I bet they missed their stop. And then we realized that we actually got on the wrong stop too. And while we are kidding around and joking about they missing their spot, the same thing has happened to us. And in that moment, it's I realized, wow, what you say, the things that you say, you don't even realize that you're speaking on yourself. Anyways, and not only that, sometimes we think that, okay, if I'm talking to my sisters, my best friends, it's not a big deal. No, you are before God. Everything that you say, God is hearing. God is listening. Whatever you speak, God will hold you accountable. And you have to realize that God is holy. God is love. And whatever you're saying, whatever you're commenting, even though it's funny, even though it's not a big deal, it is a big deal to God. And it's affecting your blessings. So, one. And it says, and then the second thing is, keep your lips from speaking lies. Do not lie. This was the first episode we talked about. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie. Don't live in a lie, because at the end of the day, you will be the one hurting. It's not the people that you're lying for. It's not the people that you're lying to please. They will be okay. You're the one who will be crying yourself at night. You're the one who has to clock in Do not live a lie. Live in truth. Start speaking truth. Start practicing truth. Because the more you practice truth, the closer you get to what is for you and who is for you. And the closer you get to what freedom is. So I'm not going to spend too much time, because we already talked about it. The benefits of living in honesty, but also the cost of being honest. And then the Bible says, turn from evil and do good. Turn from evil and do good. I like that the Bible brings this up, because one thing I've noticed is when you become a newly Christian, you are on fire for the Lord. The first thing you do, you start cutting things off. You I'm not watching this. I'm not going here. You start turning from evil, which is great, which is amazing. But the problem I've noticed with a lot of people, and me is when you cut off things that you're not supposed to be doing, instead of turning to good, instead of seeking good things, what happens is we just stay there. And if you're not eating from evil, right, and if you're not eating from good, what happens? You starve. You start to get hungry. And what I've noticed with a lot of Christians is, because you're hungry, because your hunger is even more now, things that you cut off are able to come back tenfold, and you're able to open your, like, for example, it's like it's almost like, when you're picky, you're selective with who you will entertain when it comes to relationship or friendship or whatever. If you don't actually seek community, you don't seek people that you can hang around with, and you're just isolated, it's just you by yourself, eventually the people that you cut off, or they will make their rounds. And when they make their rounds, you're going to open your arms wide open, because now you're lonely. Now you're desperate. So when God is saying turn from evil, don't just turn from evil and stay there. The Bible says turn from evil and do good. Find good friends, find good places to be. Like, don't just stay home, don't just lock yourself, because when you do that, when you starve yourself from anything, you become vulnerable. You become a target. The devil can easily take advantage of you. And the things that you cut off, they come back, but this time they come back even stronger. Now you're settling for someone who you're like, whoa, how did we get here? And I feel like this is what I see with newly Christians most of the time. And the last thing the Bible says is, seek peace and pursue it. If you love your life and you desire to see many good days, seek peace and pursue it. When you are at peace, you are at your highest level. You can think clearly, you can experience life to the fullest. And because the devil knows that, every single day, the moment you wake up, he tries to knock you off of that peace. He uses his minions to come and knock you off, because if the devil can knock you off your peace, boom, then everything else can follow. Anxiety, stress, all the above, anger, rage. But when you are at peace, you are unstoppable. Whatever God gives to you comes with peace. And when you find it, the Bible says pursue it, pour into it. Don't just sit there and be like, well, nurture it, cultivate it. In conclusion, if you love your life, you want to see many good days, keep your tongue from evil, your lips from speaking lies, turn from evil, do good, seek peace and pursue it. And your life will elevate and you will experience many good days. This concludes this episode of God is Everything podcast.